We got to the point where we'd done lots of Cairns shows, got a reasonable amount of money, which I guess we never really thought we would get. And we got offered a show in Brisbane in September that we took called Scar Tissue. That was with a Brisbane band called the Fun Addicts, who were absolutely amazing. And it was their first show in 20 years. So we were the opening band. It was absolutely we had the best time down in Brisbane. Someone seen that it was a ska band in Cairns, and I guess they thought they'd take their chance and like get us up. They put us on first, so I guess, you always do that with the band you're not so sure on, but we had a really, really good crowd response. We had lots of people dancing. We got to talk to all the guys from the Fun Addicts and another band called the Kamikaze Thundercats. The Kamikaze Thundercats are amazing. Just hanging out with all the people, like meeting people that played the same music as us and are in all the same lifestyle and, interests. It was really, really good.
And what was the gig like itself?
It was at a venue called the Globe Theatre. The Globe Theatre is actually a theatre. So towards the stage, the floor slopes down. So all the skankers, I think they might have had, shortened Achilles after skanking on this 45-degree angle dance floor. But no, it was really cool. You sort of look down off the edge of the stage and everyone's really far away, but then at the back, everyone's sort of eye level with you. It was bizarre, but really cool. They had popcorn machines and it really was set up like a theatre. So,
Will, what happens to the band now? I mean, where are you guys at in terms of where you want to go, and what are you going to be doing over the next couple of months?
We've just spent a day in the studio recording 3 songs. We're doing a split with a band from Townsville called Meanwhile in Hell. They play this crazy sort of alternative, really fast, melodic punk. They're absolutely ridiculous. They came up to play a show with us a couple of months ago, and as soon as they struck their first chords and started playing, we're like, we should do a CD with these guys. They're a 3-piece, and they sound like there's about 8 guitars. It's just so cool.
Do you find it hard to find a band to latch onto? Because, being a ska band, for starters, sort of singles you out a little bit, but it seems like even still there's a challenge there and a bit of a schism between yourselves and beyond cover bands locally. There isn't really a lot, is there?
Not really, especially in Cairns. We're like the end of it, we're the top. You go down in Townsville and you'll find a couple more bands you'd find in Cairns. You get to Airlie, you'll find a couple more bands than you'd find in Townsville. We've always wanted to do a split. 3 songs from one band, 3 songs from another band. And originally, splits are on vinyl, so you get, one side's one band, one side's the other. But we never wanted to do it with a band from North Queensland because we wanted to sort of branch out. Like, say, if we did it with the band from Perth, people in Perth would hear us and we'd hear... we get to show people their band. But as I said, as soon as we heard these guys, we were like, we've got to do a split with them, And we never wanted to do the split with a ska band either, because it's sort of like people will make a comparison there. So I think that we've gone with this sort of melodic hardcore punk band because it's a contrast. And it's not too, it's not just 6 songs of ska and brass right in your face. So. And
the band, as far as touring, you had a bit of a coup. You'll be performing with Guttermouth up here in far north Queensland, who, are a huge band within, the punk genre, but also in terms of the legacy they hold, I guess, within that genre as well. That's pretty significant. What was it like for you?
Guttermouth are a really, really infamous punk rock band, I guess. You'd know. We played Ska Nation on Halloween in Melbourne, which is with all ska bands. We got to play with the Planet Smashers from Montreal. Absolutely amazing. I got to get up on stage and sing their most favourite song with them. And it was just an absolute ball. And the morning after we performed at Ska Nation, I woke up on the floor and I gathered my pants and my wallet and all the stuff that was strewn across our hotel room. And I got to my phone and it was flashing. There was an email and it was the guy saying, do you want to tour with Guttermouth? The day after we just played the best show we've ever played in 2 years. We were just on cloud 9. We didn't even know what to do. People always call us offensive and say, maybe you shouldn't swear so much. And we thought, it would be so good to play with a band that was more offensive than us. And then the Guttermouth thing came up and we were like, maybe not that offensive, because they're pretty intense.
Well, that was the thing I was going to say. They're a pretty confronting band. How do you feel about that?
All of Jobstopper are just a tiny bit nervous because we do Airlie Beach on the 1st of February with Guttermouth, and then we do Townsville on the 2nd, and the 3rd of February is actually in Cairns, their final show, their entire Australian tour, which starts at the end of January. So, it goes forever. I don't know how much of a demographic they have here in Cairns, so I think they're going to get to the venue. It won't be many people there. It'll be really small, and they'll go, wow, this is like when we started our band 15 years ago. Let's trash the place like we did 15 years ago. So I think that we're all a little bit scared of that, but we'll join in the trashing if that's what's going on.
So are you going to ramp up your offensiveness then? Are you thinking of particularly crude jokes and tasteless things to do because of it?
Well, we never really get to be as offensive as we want, or tell as many tasteless jokes or show as many parts of our body that we shouldn't at our shows. So I guess You know, it might be not like we're trying to be more offensive, but like finally we don't have to hold back a little bit.